What a week. Holy moly. I am enjoying a beer as I'm wrapping up the week. And we are about to get into some NFT news that is going on that I think is important. Um, Man, it's been a crazy week. It has been an absolutely crazy week. So, crazy week means that there were people that 8,000x $100, like that kind of crazy week. So watching individuals get to take a ride like that is really nice, especially people that have not been winning in the space. So I had a couple friends that really did well. So excuse me, we will touch on some of that as we get into some things. Oh, you know what? Let me. That is what will make sense because what I think I am going to do here. MFers complain about shit, so I just try and fix shit when people complain about shit. Oh, I have no idea if this is a fix or not. All right, so let's get into some shit because there is some shit going on, and as we get into this shit, everything is going to come out. Let's see here. Okay, these are, granted, what I love about this space is these are stories that I wrote at about, I don't know, 4:35 this morning. So in the span of when I wake up and start putting together content, from when I go to write my live Substack, sometimes in that 3-hour period of research to product, I go to hit send and fucking everything's changed. It's like, it's chaotic, it's magical. The volatility, I think a lot of times it scares people. And the volatility means there's life force. It means there's lifeblood in what's happening here. It means there's activity. You do not want to see something stagnant. These 10 to 15% dips up and down. In this market, they're nothing. Just have patience. Believe that we are in a movement. We are moving forward. This is one of the last big super cycles I think we may ever see. I mean, the dot-com boom was awesome. Crypto's had a couple cycles. This is a big one. This is global for the first time. So I do see this as a big deal. And then when I think about it, it's also a big deal because, and we'll get into this in a second, I think we are in a meme coin super cycle. And the best way for me to think about that is in 30-day increments. Not to get too far ahead, just if you're gonna play this game, let's do some 30 days in and out. Not 30-day holds, but a 30-day timeline of when you're going to play this actual game. I think this meme coin meta has a narrative for a minute, and it probably has a narrative for longer than 30 days. I don't want to be involved with it for longer than 30 days because I don't want to be caught in the tail end of the meta when it dries up and you become exit liquidity. So if it goes on for 2 months, I'm fine missing the last month of it. If it goes strong for the next 30 days, it's going to be fun to play. And I think meme coins are going to be where generational wealth is made in this cycle. A lot of people, there are the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Solanas, the BNBs, all the big tokens. But these alt tokens have an opportunity to create 1,000x, 2,000x, like gains that, I don't know, are risky. Gains like that, right? With risk, with great reward comes great risk. Like don't be ridiculous. DYOR, that means do your own research. Don't be a fool thinking I'm going to put my first $100 in and win. I mean, you see like 1 or 2 people do it, and those are the people that you see on the timeline, and that's the bait and hook to get you into this game. Don't play that game. Play your game. Understand what's happening. There is a movement happening. Meme coins are filled with energy. There's an energy happening with meme coins that it's nowhere else. for the moment, the Ethereum art market has dried up. People have the Solana art market. The Ethereum kind of dried up because gas fees were high, because people wanted to do mass transactions. Solana became advantageous because it's friction free and there's no gas fees. Bitcoin came out and it was the ultimate place to live and breathe and create art because it's on chain and it's magical. That meta died as well. Everything that minted on Bitcoin for a moment was magical. Then it turned into everything that mints on Bitcoin is a derivative of a derivative of a derivative. And that is not a good sign. That's the sign that people are in there just trying to create shit to flip it, make money, take your money and get out. There's great plays to be made in the Ethereum ecosystem, in the Solana ecosystem, and in the Bitcoin ecosystem. It just requires a little patience because we're going to see some volatility and people cannot stomach volatility in this space, which is the trick to figuring some stuff out. Okay, so let's get into a couple of things that are going on. So some news that's going on. There's bullish sentiment toward WorldCoin, ticker sign WLD. They are anticipating a potential support at about $10. This is a coin that has taken off. It's had quite a bit of controversy since its inception. It has to do with Sam Altman and ChatGPT and all of the AI movement. When this coin initially came out, I went and got my iris scanned at an orb in Miami, which was interesting as well. But the tech they have is interesting. What they're doing is interesting. If you look at things future forward, there is a use case for this. And if you think about it, if anybody knows, it's probably Sam Altman because he has brought some interesting things to the forefront. So I am a fan of what he's doing. So keep an eye on World Token. And it's funny, I'm going to actually skip down because I mentioned WorldCoin twice today in the news. You know what? I got rid of it just because I was on a live space. WorldCoin is up. People are interested. They had some recent legal hurdles with different countries saying they are invading the privacy because they're storing this biometric eye scan data. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that means. And as a precautionary measure, I feel like a lot of countries are saying, hey, wait, this is a breach on our privacy. And I think that as an organization, they've been able to quell these discussions and educate people along the way, and it looks like things are moving forward at a pretty good clip. So I would keep your eye on World Token, ticker WLD. Next up, you know what, I'm going to have a sip of beer for this. The idea is to deliver you some news, but I do that on my podcast. I do that in my Substack. So a lot of this is just about terrible life advice and some of my thoughts. And you know what this is you know what this platform is? So if you ever spend time on Twitter Spaces and you try and go on somebody else's space, it's not your space. You don't get to say what the fuck you want, right? You have to it's their space. And sometimes if you get too lippy or try and say too much stuff, they just boot you from the stage. So this is my opportunity to deliver the news with some of the insight and shit that I think that nobody cares about. And the wonderful thing is that I don't see any of you. There's no viewers. So my podcast has maybe 7 or 8 listeners. Thank you if you listen to my podcast because it's fucking awesome. And I just deliver the facts there for the most part, but just try and deliver some good fucking educational knowledge bombs, not to tell you what to do, but to maybe show you where to look, and you can see some things to do. So, what I want to get into is we have an election year coming up, okay? And the race is going to be intense, and we have Donald Trump and we have what appears to be fumbling Joe Biden, and right? The election it's a minute away, especially in crypto times. That's like 10 years away. But What's interesting about this is around election cycles, people have a tendency to vote with one thing, right? Yes, you may have beliefs and all of these things, but what I want people to think about is, are you voting with your ledger? Are you voting with your wallet? Are you voting with your Bible? Are you voting with your moral code? The sticking issue, right? If you're a Democrat and you want to be Republican, but there's that one issue, maybe the way they look at guns, that doesn't let you vote Republican. Whatever that one issue is, right? Whatever that thing is that makes you stand for the party that you believe in. What I want you to think about is to put politics aside for this election and vote with your ledger. And what does that mean? That means vote with your crypto wallet, your crypto ideology. That means that voting for crypto brings with it a decentralized ideology. And that's fairness. And it doesn't matter what party you're from. Fairness is good. And it doesn't matter what economic background you're from. Fairness is good. There's no questioning that fairness wins. And we are in a world where things are often stacked against us. So if we could make something fair, that becomes magic. So if you decide to vote with your ledger, if you decide to vote with crypto, with whichever candidate has the strongest stance on crypto, in my view, that vote supersedes your political views, your passport, your Bible, your ideology, your morals, your job code, your military code, right? Whatever it is, you get to go into a booth and it's just you and God, whatever your God may be. But going in that voting booth, if you decide to vote with your ledger, vote for crypto, what that does is it's going to bring in the smartest, most forward-thinking people in the world. The brightest people in the world, in my view, are involved in crypto. And that sector, Web3, the metaverse, cryptocurrency, it's together. Those people think future forward. They're not trapped in the past. Their ideas are not locked in some fucking bullshit belief of how shit used to be. Their shit is geared toward dealing with the next billion people. And what a wonderful place to start. How do we incorporate the next billion people into our viewpoints? And it doesn't begin with red or blue. It begins with crypto. So this election cycle, by voting with your ledger and picking the candidate that is pro-crypto, you are going to usher in the first wave of brilliant, brilliant decision makers. Let's get them on the team. Let's get them part of the people that are making a difference in Washington, D.C. Because if those people get into decision-making opportunities, their views on fairness on religion, abortion, gun ownership, all of those things, the consensus will be decided by a group of really bright people. And that seems like a good prognosis for our future. So I want you to think about that. Voting forward. And to give you an idea, I've been super liberal all my life. I was a punk rock starving artist for years. And when I look at the two candidates before me, I am 1,000% voting for Donald Trump. And I can't believe I even said that. But I am voting with my ledger because the Republicans are more pro-crypto than the Democrats at this moment in time, unfortunately. And it is important to me that we don't lose this opportunity to interact with the gigachads, the mega minds of crypto, Because if we stifle innovation and the laws become prohibitive for crypto work to happen in the United States, the really smart people are going to go somewhere else, and we're going to lose the race of tomorrow. And it starts today. So fucking just think about that shit, please, because it makes a difference, right? If you're 18, 17, if you're going to be able to vote for your first time, you might think, I don't want to be a part of the system. Trust me, I was a punk rocker. Fuck the system, anarchy, like, I get it. Your vote makes a difference. One vote makes a difference. So I implore each of you to think about this shit that's coming down the pike. Research what crypto is, research what blockchain is, and decide how you're going to vote. All right, enough bullshit. I don't even know if that was political. I just told you what I might do when I get into the voting booth. But just like I said, it's just me and God in there in the curtain, so I get to choose whatever the fuck I want. But I'm going to vote with my ledger above all, because even if I don't agree with some of the other viewpoints that might come along with that, if we get those people involved in the mixture of the conversation, they will begin to change minds. And that's how we begin the revolution. All right. All right, getting on to a couple more things. All right, let's see. Last night, over the last 24 hours, it's still continuing because it's an enormous amount, but 100,012,383 Bitcoin runestone were airdropped to different Bitcoin wallet holders that have been involved in the Bitcoin ecosystem, collecting and distributing art, which kind of pisses me off because I minted my first piece of art on Bitcoin in June of 2023, and I didn't get an airdrop, so I'm gonna have to talk to Leonidas about that. But it is absolutely fantastic to see 112,000 of these things go out flawlessly. It has not clogged the network. They did a really good job on all of the back end stuff, so it has been great to watch that happen. Now, chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Friday, March 15th, and it is time for some rare bits. Today, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index comes in at an 85. We are 3 degrees down from yesterday. We are still in the extreme greed zone. If you listen to my podcast, make your life get smarter faster. But this is where I'm going. Is the reason the Crypto Greed and Fear Index is magical is because not only does it measure sentiment, it measures sentiment, but what it lets you know is when we get up to that extreme greed, what goes up may come down, right? Boom, bada bing, boomerang. Gah. So when it gets to extreme greed, we hit 90 the other day. That means it's going to come back down in a minute. So cool your jets. We woke up this morning to, holy shit, I went live with my podcast this morning, and literally the map was not, like there's this pink red. It was the red. Like it was something it was terrible. So we went, I don't think, when I woke up this morning, I think it was about $67,000, down from about $73,000 Bitcoin when I went to bed. So it was not a rude awakening because I know this is the game. But trust me, if you're thinking about getting into Bitcoin, we are not done. Buy Bitcoin apps, and we'll get into the oscillators in a minute. But NFT sentiment is down 4 degrees. It's cooled off a bit, and I'll tell you why that is. Well, in a sec. So we're coming in at 61 degrees, and that is warm for the ecosystem. We have been in the cold zone for the NFT and art ecosystem for the last, I would say, 23 months. So we've just turned to warm in about the last 3 days. So it's been fucking really nice to see things warm up. Top crypto search for the normies. Top crypto search term for the normies is so hot. It is ticker sign SOHOT. It is up 251% on the 7-day. I report the information like I get it. I am not telling you to buy this. This is the first time I've seen it, heard of it. I do not research it when it comes in. I research these tickers that the normies look at. About the third time it registers with them, I'll have a look. And that's if it hasn't already made an appearance on my radar. The fact that this popped up out of nowhere doesn't mean anything. If you have free time on your hands and want to research something that apparently has good movement on it in the last 7 days, ticker sign SOHOTDYOR. That means do your own research. MFer, that means. Okay, top NFT search term is Bodoggos. That is a wonderful collection on Solana. I know the people who. Do I know them personally? Yes, I've met all of them personally. I'm in a space with them all the time. I listen to their broadcast and their outputs. They're magical. I have been a holder of their NFT collection on and off. We'll get into my trading history and why I am the way I am at some point in a future episode. But Bodoggos are cracking the scale for people that are outside of this ecosystem, and that is a big deal. This is not the Bored Apes. This is not the CryptoPunks. This is Bodoggos on Solana, and it is making a dent. The reason his name is All Nick on Twitter, aka NFT Nick, aka Stay Rich, but they're just blowing shit up. So I hope they can continue to ride that wave. Moving on, Bitcoin dominance is at 51.05%. We are down for the 24 hours. ETH dominance is at 17.02, and that is up on the 24 hours. People don't sleep on ETH. Denkun upgrade just finished. I have some mixed reviews about that. That's not the well, maybe it is. We'll see how this, I don't know. We'll see how the beer goes. Maybe I'll get into all kinds of shit. Anyway, moving on. ETH dominance is up a bit. People are interested in ETH. Do not sleep on it. I know it seems like everything else is magical. Ethereum solves a problem that nobody else solves. It does it better than anybody. Ethereum is never going anywhere as a blockchain. Period. That's it. So I don't need to say anything else. Okay, for ETH NFT sales volume, we are down. For Solana NFT sales volume, we are down. For Bitcoin sales volume, we're up because there's never been sales volume on Bitcoin, and it is just fucking flying recently. We have 34 days to go before the Bitcoin halving. That I report on in my Substack every day. It's a really interesting metric to watch. And I did there's also a way to watch the actual blocks being mined as little blobs come down and fill the block space. It's actually quite fun to watch, especially if you're bored. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, if you don't have any family members or a girlfriend or a mate and you're spending the holidays alone, you might throw on the old Yule log on the TV and just watch the fire burn, right? Like you had a family and like you had friends to sit around an actual fire and you weren't watching a digital fire. Okay, we're not going to get into that right now. Miro, ticker sign MYRO. I want you to do your own research on this. I just picked up a little, and just like one Solana worth earlier this morning. I bought a bunch of it a while ago, sold a bunch of it way too early. I think it's going to move again. I'm not sure when it's going to move, and I happen to have one Solana, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, and I figured MYRO was one of those things where I could put it in. I think it has decent prognosis in this next 30 days for this miniature super cycle, this meme super cycle, which I think is going to last. Doesn't matter how long it lasts. I'm going to play this round for 30 days, and at the end of that 30 days, take stuff out and maybe look at different stuff. But I have some contenders that I'm looking at that I'm going to be in and out of for the next 30 days. I don't want to get inundated with all of the shit coins that are coming out. I will play some of them, but there's enough stuff that's happening right now that isn't dying. And what do I mean by that? I think there are shit coins that you can play, especially right now, that give you the opportunity to gamble. You put in $100 and in 4 or 5 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, you could make 20 grand. And the interesting thing about these is you can't sleep on them. You can't walk away from the computer terminals. You can't move. Like, you go to take a shit and you come back and it's dead and you're rugged. Sometimes even if you're watching, it's dead and you're rugged. Depending on what trading platform you on, the lag time, you could be rugged and you don't even know it yet and you're still buying the shit. So there are all of these intricacies deal with these shit coins? Yes, is there wealth to be made doing it? Yes, is there destruction to be had if you do it wrong? But in that crazy meme coin arena, there's also this less crazy meme coin arena that I think also has the ability to go up. And those are the coins that I call go to sleep coins, meaning here's an example. If you have if it's Thursday night and you just got paid and you have $400 and you have to not pay rent, not pay bills. If you have $400 and maybe you are going to take your girlfriend out for dinner tomorrow on Friday night and it's Thursday, and you say, honey, listen, if you're going to take your partner out for dinner, if you're going to take your partner out if you're going to spend money on each other tomorrow and it's Thursday and you have to work Friday, you might look at that $400 that you're planning to take a car with, a hotel, eat dinner, drink champagne, whatever the fuck you're going to do, and say, listen, why don't we take this $400 and put it into one of these coins while we sleep? Those are sleep coins. These are these meme coins that I don't feel like they're going to go down more than 15, 20% when you sleep. I also feel like they have the possibility to run up 45, 60% while you sleep. They're sleep coins to me because I pick them because they look like they're going to go more up than down. And I'm comfortable taking a 6-hour cat nap and waking up immediately and checking them. But you go to sleep for 6 hours and you wake up and you see what happened. These are coins that I don't think will do damage. And these are coins where that $400 that you were going to spend on dinner and have nothing left, you might wake up in the morning and before you brush your teeth, check the charts and sell out if you don't want to play it anymore, if you have to go to work. You may wake up, brew your coffee, look at the charts, make a decision and decide, wow, that $400 is now $1,200. And I was sleeping. Do I want to cash out the whole $1,200 because that'd be great? I can future forward, pay bills, do all this shit. Or do you want to be like an idiot and let it ride? Or the smart thing is, do you want to take out all of your profit and leave $400 in and let it ride? Called a moon bag, yes. So now that $400 that you were going to go to dinner with, you still got it. You made an extra $400 to pay some bills with, and you have this $400 you never knew you had. And if this coin happens to rip over the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days, you could change your life. So these are just some strategies to think about when doing this shit, and I want you to do that. Miro is one of the coins that I can go to sleep with. It's a decent sleeper. All right, and now let us get into some numbers for the nerds before we get into some more news, before I send you guys on your Friday. You know what, and if anybody's comment, I don't even know if anybody's live, and because I don't do this shit that much, I don't even know if anybody's here, but that's fine. I think it's recording. But what's hilarious is the last time I did this, it recorded I recorded an awesome news segment. Like, it was good. But I forgot something, maybe no audio. So it was 45 minutes of video, and I figured nobody wanted to watch that. So, and that could be happening now. I have no idea how to check. I don't know. I just try and figure this shit out, how I figure it out. Okay, so, oh, look at that. So if any of you nerds, you know what, it's funny, I put out a shit ton of content. I don't take advertiser sponsors. I don't do any of that bullshit. I don't promote anything for anybody for any reason at the moment. And for my written Substack, I have some paid subscribers, which is absolutely magical. It helps keep it just keeps the oil lubricated. It keeps the engine lubricated. Trust me, this is the only thing I do is content and try and help people in this ecosystem. And I help companies try and find a way to break into this ecosystem. And I help companies figure out a way to market to individuals in this ecosystem. And this is brand new stuff. And I believe in it so wholeheartedly. And I hope you hear that passion in my voice when I speak about this stuff. I spend a lot of time doing this stuff. And it's when I look at all of the people who produce content, I'm not going to compare myself to anybody. What I am going to say is that when I look at ways for people to give back, sometimes it's funny, the people that subscribe to my Substack and pay, every time I'm late putting out my Substack, like I feel bad because while I don't have a lot of paid subscribers, I'd say 90% of them are free subscribers, but the ones that actually pay, the ones that say, hey, we care about what you're doing enough to send you this every month. Like, I stress for those people. So I appreciate you, absolutely. But what I am saying, we are looking at the future is decentralized. It is a t-shirt, and I was like, yo, I'm an artist. I do a bunch of different stuff. I have a bunch of different art stuff. I've done NFTs. I've done all this stuff. And people love merch. And this is good quality merch. And I'm going to be doing a series of different designs. There'll be limited edition stuff. There may be stuff involved with owning these. You never know. I have some stuff planned. So I thought, wow, is there a way that people can actually get something when they help me out? So $40 for a t-shirt. I make a couple bucks off that, and you get a wonderful fucking awesome t-shirt. So there's some stuff on my website that you can check out. There's some ways that you can support Rare Bits where you actually get something back. And then there's going to be stuff where if you take a photo of some of this gear in different places, there's going to be, I don't know, there's treasure, there's stuff coming. So yeah, find links, chrisberlin.com. You can see that shit there. Okay, let's get to some fucking news. That was like a mini advertisement for myself, and I feel really bad. But I'm not advertising anything. I'm saying, yo, I need help to keep content flowing. Here's a great way for you to get involved. If you like any of this shit I'm doing and you get some swag that's fucking bomber, you'll like it, I promise. Think about it. Boom. Okay, let's get on to some shit. Look at that fucking magic. This is the Bitcoin heat map at the moment, and we are, before you get too balled up and crazy, right? We are looking at the 1 hour map. At the 1 hour map, everything on the map is fucking green. Everything. It is brilliant. So let us just look at the 24 hour. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, the 24 hour map, not so good. Right? Not as good. We're down 3%. We've got some red. We've got some deep dark red. Holy shit, look how deep and dark near is. Near is down. That's not even that bad. 7%. Stop flipping out, people. Keep your fucking adventure pants on. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we are going to go back to the 1 hour. Okay, look at that. It is beautiful. We only have some, say is the only thing that is deep dark green, and that is up 22% on the fucking hour. That is on one of my lists for my paid subscribers on Substack, so you would know about that shit, but it is nice to see it doing what I said it would, so that is good. Sorry for the sideline excitement, because I haven't looked at this chart at the moment, because I like to keep this shit fresh. So, all right, we're blipping out of the, I want to go, okay, we can go right here. Okay, so look at this, okay. So if you guys don't, like tools, I look at about 30, I look at exactly 37 websites every single morning starting at 4:30 in the morning. And I have a routine where I check fucking everything. And it's how I create my Substack. And one of the things that I check is the crypto bubbles. And if you guys don't utilize this tool, you should, because it's a really neat visual tool for everybody. Not only does it give you a chance to look at the total market cap of crypto, but it gives you a chance to pick tokens and stuff that you want to keep an eye on. Maybe calls that you hear somebody making. You can pull it up on this, put the call in, and add it to your watch list. And now you can start paper trading. And what do I mean by that? So when we are looking at the crypto bubbles at the moment, right? We see all of the movement. This is everything that's happened in the crypto bubbles. When we scroll down, we can see all of the coins listed. So just running off, Bitcoin's currently trading at $68,324. Ethereum's, it's dropped off of its $4,000, not high, but peak yesterday, trading at 36.77. BNB is trading at 593. It was at 600 the other day. Solana has not stopped, $180. That's the top 5. Now, Bitcoin, on the hour, it's trading flat. On the day, it's down 4%. On the week, it's down 1%. On the month, it's up 32%. And on the year, it's up 150%. So getting an opportunity to see these coins and where they stack up on the hour, day, week, month, and year is invaluable. And I am going to quickly shift, and usually only my paid subscribers get this. I'm going to switch to one of my watch lists. So this is absolutely wonderful. So just calling some of these out. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Render, Injective, Say, Dog with Hat, Celestia, Floki, Bonk, Sui, Jupiter, Helium, Book of Meme, Mogcoin, Myro, and Wen. That is my list of coins that I am playing for this 30-day meme coin super cycle. Will I diverge from these? Yes. These are my coins that I am watching during the daytime. I have, out of this list, I have sleeper coins. Obviously the top market caps, the Bitcoin, the ETH, the shit like that. But even in some of the lower cap stuff, I have coins that I will not go to sleep with. I have coins I'm fine being up and awake with when I'm at terminal watching, but all of this stuff is risky. Like one of my favorite plays right now is Wen, and it's down 6% on the hour, 16% on the day, 15% on the week. So today it's just had a 14% drop, right? It's up 175% on the 30-day. So you're fine if you were in early. But and I also said these 10 to 15% drops are nothing to get alarmed about. But if I am sitting at my terminal and I see things change, I'm not going to sit for a 15% drop when I'm trading a coin on Solana that has no gas fees to get in and out of. I move into something that I'm watching move up. It depends on if I'm sitting at the terminal or I'm fucking around or doing other things. So you have seen my list for the moment. Next up, let's look at some of the top sales. We had a white hair CryptoPunk sale for $239,000. That was sold 1 hour ago. We had an OMB sold 6 hours ago for $174,000. Then we had some stuff selling Solana, Cardano, nothing that's real striking. Not even this Ronin Axie Infinity do I want to talk about for 10 grand. Not even this Flow sale for 8 grand. None of it is super striking because there is magic happening. So next up, we are looking at the top collections on the Ethereum blockchain. Top 5, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Parallel Avatars, Pudgy Penguins, and Smole. Do we want to double click anything here? So I would say we have Bored Ape Yacht Club trading below $50,000. This is a collection that had a $500,000 floor price in February, a year and a half ago. So down $450,000 in the last year and a half. Imagine taking a $450,000 pay cut. Imagine if you started making plans thinking you had a $500,000 asset that was going to continue to go up in value, and it did the opposite. So that's where Bored Ape is. Mutant Ape Yacht Club trading at $8,000. That is 2.2 Ethereum. Parallel Avatars, they're trading at 0.89. Pudgy Penguins are trading at 39K. Wow, everybody is down for the moment. And again, everybody is down on the Ethereum side because people have moved into Bitcoin and Solana. For the moment, don't be fooled. Next collection we are going to look at is top 5 movers on the Solana ecosystem. We have Frogana's famous Fox Federation, Mad Lads, Tensorians, and Homeowners Association rounding out the top 5. Anything we want to double click here, Mad Lads are trading at 183 salamis. It's not a big deal, though. On the Mad Lads side of things, that community feels like 200 Solana should be the floor no matter what. Once you hit that mark, there's this weird culture here where people say 1 Solana is 1 Solana. It's 1 Solana is 1 Solana if you bought it at $8. If you bought that 1 Solana at $175, it's not 1 Solana. It's $175, motherfucker. So watching, like this space is amazing because in one day you may go from having $100 to having $13,000 for just doing something really stupid that anybody could have done. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time, which brings up a perfect sentiment. It is not timing the market, it is time in the market. Get in here, educate yourself, look at what people are doing, figure out where people are making money, paper trade, watch them, see what's happening. Figure out how to do it before you do it. There is money to be made. We're in a awesome cycle. I think there's a 10-month big cycle right now for my content and the stuff I'm doing. I'm concentrating on a 30-day cycle, which will end a couple days before the Bitcoin halving. There's a reason for all this. There's a plan for all this. I will explain as we go down this journey, but buckle up because we are moving. So anything I want to talk about here? No. Frogana's. Okay, I said no and I fucking lied. The Frogana's. In the last 24 hours, there have been 4,465 sales. That is down from their standard volume the past couple of days of like 12,000 frogs a day are selling back and forth. These things, it's just amazing. The price has just kind of stayed steady, but 12,000 of these things are being passed back and forth. Think about why that's happening. Okay, now let's get into the magical blockchain that everybody calls Bitcoin. And the top 5 collections are Runestone's OMBs, Node Monkey Business, and RSIC Meta Protocols, followed by the Bitcoin Puppets and Quantum Cats. And you know what? Cox and Nat Cats. That is the top ones. Let's double click on all these and see what we're doing. So I mentioned that there were over 100,000 of these Runestones dropped to anybody except me that had minted some of these certain collections. They were airdropped these. So what does that mean? That means if you were airdropped this currently, you could just open your wallet and something was dropped to you. You can go to the marketplace and that thing that was dropped in your wallet for free, you can list it. And right now, somebody will pay $1,000, $1,200 to buy that from you. And it was given to you for free. That is what an airdrop is in this space. Now, the trick is, what do you do with the airdrop? Do you hold it? Do you wait? Do you liquidate? Do you get in? Do you get out? When do you sell? There's a story to all this shit. You have to be around to figure this shit out, but it is really interesting. So, in the last 24 hours, there have been 2,349 sales. And okay, keep this in mind. Of these airdrops that happened, there are over 90,000 individuals that received this airdrop for free. So 90,000 people that interact in this Bitcoin art ecosystem and that's if this is the floor price right now, $1,200. 90,000 people were gifted $1,200 in the last 24 hours. Were you one of them? Let me know in the comments. Next up, OMB, Ordinal Maxi Biz. Wow. Okay, OMB is trading at $24,900. They are down $100,000 in the last 3 days. How did they do that? They added another drop to the ecosystem called the Orange Eyes. The Orange Eyes are not done minting. There's more to go. Last I checked, I mean, this was earlier today when I was putting this stuff together, but there was 1,000 people left to mint. Already the floor. Okay, let's look at, do I want to, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you why we're going to look at the action right now. So we're going to go to OMB. Oof, you can see that line right there yourself. I'm sure of it. Can you? Oh no, you can't because of my picture-in-picture. But let's see if I can blow it up. Oh, there, that's it. Now you can see it. Okay. So, where are we at right now? So at 10 o'clock this morning, I took a picture and reported on this. We were kind of at this 3.8 Bitcoin price. And the floor was here and the supply was here. Now, it is 6:22 p.m. on Friday night. All the mints aren't in, and the floor price has kind of dropped down a little, and supply has gone up to here. And we're not done adding more supply. So I put out a tweet, and the reason I did this is because I'll just shoot the shit, especially after I have another sip of beer. This is why I did it. So the OMBs literally have become insufferable. I mean, God love them. I love ZK. I love Tony, the artist. I love everything they're doing, but they're fucking insufferable. I mean, fucking movement. It's fucking insufferable. So these people bought this profile picture, and a couple days ago, their profile picture is worth 1.69 Bitcoin. The floor got up to 1.69 Bitcoin. We just hit a $70,000. So we just hit $73,000 as a little peak right now. These people bought into this art, and their floor price went up above $100,000, and everybody's rich, and everybody's famous, and everybody is fucking insufferable. All of a sudden, their opinions on everything, they know better. And it's no different than when it's just like when the Bored Apes were in spaces making ape noises. They were insufferable too. But how could you not be when you spend $200 and you have an asset that goes up to $500,000? What? Like, that actually happened. Do most people round trip it? Yes. Did most of the OMB people round trip it? Yes. Did people sell at 1.69 Bitcoin? Yes, the smart motherfuckers. And now the floor is dropping. So, holy moly. So, where are we at right now? So, and this is important, and I'll tell you why this is important in a minute. So, we are at, let me get out of here. How do I get out of here? Okay, so we are back to collection. Let's see. Okay, so we are back to collection. So you can see this is the floor of the OMBs right now, and these are the new orange eyes, right? That just came out. So let me just scroll, and I'm just doing a quick scroll. I'm not even looking at the artwork. I'm just seeing how far. Ooh, okay. So we're looking at the orange eyes, okay? And I'm just checking to see how far I have to scroll before the first green eye pops up. So as I'm scrolling down, so we're at 0.75 Bitcoin, and boom, 0.79 Bitcoin, this guy right here, is the first green eye to pop up. That green eye 2 days ago was worth 1.69 Bitcoin. Now he's trying to sell it, or they are trying to sell it for 1.79 Bitcoin, and it's not moving at the moment. So that's a 1 Bitcoin differential in 2 days. So that's about $73,000 unrealized gain because they round trip something. And if you're in this space and you know when a new mint comes out, everything goes down. Like, all of these holders know it, but they're in it because it's a movement, not an investment. I get it. But what is interesting is, just as a shit talker, okay, the floor is currently 0.37 Bitcoin. There are only 6 buys pending. We have earlier today about 1,000 people left to mint. What happens is the minters, the public mint is 0.9 Bitcoin, so it's almost $70,000 to mint it, and the floor right now is 0.37 Bitcoin. So will it go under the mint price for the whitelist people, the people that held these assets and decided to hold them and not sell them at the peak, but round trip them back down to this juncture? And what's interesting about it is, just talking shit, if OMB can keep their floor price above 0.3 Bitcoin, if it touches 0.29 Bitcoin by midnight Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to shave my head into a mohawk. So there's about 5.5 hours left, and if this floor price drops to 0.29 Bitcoin, I'm going to shave my head into a mohawk tomorrow. And I'll be doing a video with a fucking mohawk tomorrow. Not super stoked about it, but whatever. I think I'm safe. Anyway, you know what? I might even extend the offer and say, I might even update it to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I'll give them 12 hours. If they can keep their floor price above 0.3 for 12 hours, it's 6:28 p.m. I will give them till 6:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday morning. The ticker has started. Go. Okay, so that is done with our front on the OMBs. And I do like the collection. I do like what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, you just have to love this artwork. Listen, I hope all of you had a majestic week, a majestic Friday, and all of those things. There's a couple more news things that I did want to get into before I pass you guys on your way that caught my attention this morning. So VV Comics, if you guys are familiar with them, are collectors of comics, and most of you guys are nerds, so you probably all have comics. They have just launched a 300-piece Marvel collection that is going to be infused with NFTs and have a digital aspect to it. And if you think about where we're going, what this represents is they're going to start, this stuff will begin with a comic, maybe next go to an AR, VR experience, next an avatar that you can send an Instagram or utilize for voice chats or bring in game. What is coming down the pike is ownership for your assets. It happens with the blockchain. That's what we're all doing here. All of these people are slowly starting to realize it. It will be how magical to be a kid and be into Shazam and want a digital avatar of Shazam, and at the age of 4, start collecting digital Shazam paraphernalia. And your parents who watch you grow up, they may decide, wow, this is some vintage Shazam shit. I'm going to buy this digital stuff and throw it in the kid's wallet or the kid's fund for the future. And as this kid grows up, these digital artifacts, and when I grew up, we got stuff like that, comics, different stuff, but once it became valuable, it became untouchable. This is livable, breathable, interactable. This is magic. It really excites me about where we're going future forward. So seeing VV Comics platform interact with Marvel, offering digital issues with NFT integration, it is going to be future forward, something that propels lifelong membership and affinity for these companies. It's really interesting. And I talk to companies a lot, and these companies, you have an opportunity to connect with your fans and create an impression that if you do it right, they'll actually carry with them their entire life. Imagine, if you love Coca-Cola, imagine getting a token from Coca-Cola when you're 6 years old. And you carry that thing, and you happen to go to the Olympics one year, and they have a Coca-Cola thing where you can add to your Coca-Cola wallet. And you see the Super Bowl one year, you can add to this wallet. And as you experience life, you can get to a point where Coca-Cola says, listen, if you have 4 of these tokens gathered from these locations, we're going to send you blah. Right? Do you see where we're going? So these interactions are magical, not only for the user, but greedily from a company perspective too. There's tracking, there's all kinds of wonderful things, but it equates to smarter company, smarter consumer. And the mix is having a really good user interface. No more coupons in the mail, spam shit, because we're going to know who you are digitally, and we're going to be able to offer you what you need when you need it, instead of spamming you with bullshit that doesn't matter. So that's where we're going with all this shit. I'm super excited about it. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but that's why I do this video show, because nobody will let me talk about this shit anyplace else. And if I did it, if I just do it by myself, like, it's going to be really strange. And I do feel a little strange doing it on live video to nobody. But if you've listened to my podcast, you know why I do it, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, next up, we have BitDeer. They are a Bitcoin mining company. And I've just been doing, sorry, I've had an interesting haul with COVID. I apologize for the coughing. So BitDeer, in my research, when I look at the ecosystem, I start thinking about Bitcoin and its prevalence for moving forward and its adoption curve. And then you have to think about, well, how is it produced? Well, it's mined. Who mines it? Okay, there's a shit ton of people. Who mines it well? Okay, there's less people. Who mines it well and efficiently? Wow, there's even less people. Who's innovatively mining it efficiently and cost effectively? Not a lot of people. So on my list, BitDeer came up, and their stock is absolutely down at the moment. And we are pre-halving. There are a bunch of, we're not going to get into any of that shit right now. BitDeer's stock is down. They are, in my view, one of the best mining companies moving forward. This is just research that I do. I have not put money into this. This is shit I look at. I am telling you, if you have time on your hands and this floats your boat, do research. If you're interested in Bitcoin mining, start with BitDeer, right? And you may invest some money and you may make some money. That's what I'm saying. BitDeer, for my research, and I do analytical research just for stories to bring content to people, to inform people. And that's what this is. BitDeer won my list. I wanted to share it with you. Do your own research. There was a benchmark analysis that came out, and Benchmark hit it, and that's what set a bell off on my world, and I'm sharing that with you. Next up, we have Tensor Foundation. They also have an NFT ecosystem platform, blah, 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 whatever. They have a token. Token's ticker sign is TNSR. Put it on your list. It is an interesting Solana NFT marketplace. I was interested in Solana and Magic Eden. I recently applied to a job with Magic Eden, so we'll get into that at a later time. But while I was very bullish on Magic Eden prior to applying to Magic Eden, I may turn bullish on Tensor really quick here. So either way, and I'll have an update on what's going on there shortly, maybe some good content coming soon, but put Tensor on your list, TNSR. It's a token to watch. Next up, there is a token called TON, T-O-N. There is a Telegram game called Notcoin. Everybody's doing these drops with interactions on Telegram, Twitter, wherever your fancy is. You can figure out a way to interact with people that are airdropping. And when I mentioned airdropping, I just told you about a Bitcoin airdrop that so many people got. Free $1,200. Boom. Then, if that was your date money, now you're $400. You keep that in your pocket. You take that $1,200. You want to invest it, or do you want to double down and take this new $1,200 and the $400 you were going to spend on the date tomorrow? Now you have $1,800 to put it on a sleeper coin to go to bed. And now, if that shit goes up 40% while you're sleeping, that's what I'm talking about. That's the magic. Okay. The last story that I have for this Friday night, and I have not heard anybody mention it fucking once in the ecosystem, is Binance has just integrated with Solana. What does that mean? There is Solana interaction in the Binance wallet, making it easier for normies and people just to get on chain. That is what we want. The secret sauce for Friday. Your passion is waiting for your courage to catch up. Remember, the rabbit hole runs deep. Still craving crypto clarity. Subscribe to my Substack today. Check me out on Rarebits. Like here. Fucking like, subscribe, do whatever you do. Tell your friends I do stupid, crazy shit. If things don't go well, I'm going to be shaving my head into a mohawk when I wake up in the morning. I will be reporting on all this shit as we move forward. I hope you guys are enjoying your fabulous day. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. You know how we do it. That's called Rare Bits. I hope you guys stay out of